All right, shalom. So that we're giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither Yahweh thy power have driven thee. Well, in the curses, one of the things the Lord said will happen to us for our disobedience is that we will be scattered through all the earth, and we will be under the foot or the hand under all these nations. But check out what this actually said. It says, and thou shalt call them to mind among the nations, right? Where we were scattered under, or whom, or where we were scattered to. Who's doing that today? Who's calling these things to mind? The Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, because we are those people. Now, you had this guy, this is Carlson Tucker Carlson. You know, get on, I believe it was his platform, whether it was his or someone else's, and he made mention of how he don't think that the Hebrew Israelites were a dark complected people. He just couldn't fathom that the Hebrew Israelites can be a dark complected people. Well, guess what? For the most part, you know, we are. You know, now through the different, men planting seed and different women and, men dealing with women from the other nations and things of that sort, you do have a lot of Israelites that come in all forms, or all shades, right? Like we even said, we even got Israelites that look like so-called white people, But even predominantly, when you think about all the nations were of a dark-complected people, all right? Until who came? Esau, Edom. And we'll speak about that on another topic, dealing with Jacob and Esau, because Vocab Malone made a statement of how, how Jacob and Esau had the same father, right? Father and mother, but it was two nations. Look, dude, that's how the Lord did it. Ain't nothing impossible with the Lord. Even the scriptures say it, right? Two nations should be in thy womb, right? Two manners of people, two nations, two manners of people, different, right? That would make up two races upon the planet Earth. And these two races of people are very important because Jacob represents who? The Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans of Negro Indian descent. And Esau, right? Their forefather Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites, which are the so-called white people. But like I said before, it's whoever go back to that bloodline of Esau, Edom. And now in today's sense, you got a thing where you got chocolate-covered Edomites, dealing with, our woman dealing with the Edomite men, or the Edomite men, as what they done to our woman in slavery as well. So you got a lot of people out here that may even have the so-called look of an Israelite, but they might not even be an Israelite. But like I said, we can say that for another lesson for another time. Point being is that we are those people, all right? And we are calling to mind, right? We are calling these things to mind among where we have been scattered. This is why you see, this is a part of the reason, right? Why you see Israelites waking up throughout the earth, because this is prophecy for this to take place. But while, we were being woke up, okay, through the Spirit of the Lord, right, through this word, this is what we will be doing. We will be calling these things to mind. Now remember, let's get this. When we go to Deuteronomy 28, when we get this right here, it says, is this the one I want? Let me see. Here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 46, it says,
And they shall be upon thee. Matter of fact, let's start at 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments, and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they should be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So aren't these things not a sign? Aren't these things not a wonder? Right? Now, think about this. As we know these different things are a sign and a wonder, it's easy or it's evident for us to be like, look what's happening, right? This is a curse that the Lord will say that will happen among this people. So when people hear it, or you know, and they put these things in mind, they vision it, they see it through an image or however, they like, oh, you know what? We got to be those people, because that only happened to us, right? This only happened to us. This applied to us. You see, so we are calling these things to mind, right? So yeah, that's it on that point. I just want to get that point of how, you know, these things, right? These curses that overtook us will be a sign for a wonder upon thy seed forever. Okay? Now, something else I wanted to get this, the book of Hosea, chapter 1. Start at verse 9. It says, then said the Most High, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it should be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Where were we told that at? Where were we told we weren't the people of the Lord? That we weren't the chosen people? Because the chosen people are the Hebrew Israelites, right? We are that holy people that is mentioned in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Chosen to be above all the nations upon the face of the earth. Yeah, the Hebrew Israelites. We are those people. Where were we told that we weren't, or are we not identified to the world that we're the people of the Lord? Babylon the Great. Think about it. Egypt, we knew we was Israelites, right? All them different empires, we knew we were Israelites. You see? All those different empires. Now, when you're dealing with you start to get into the Greek and the Roman Empire, and even, you know, through the different nations we was about. When you go into the history, we was starting to fall into the snare of the other nations, do idol worship, do different wicked custom things that the heathen, what they were doing, that's why we was getting jacked up. But we still knew we was Israelites. Now, once you start getting to the Greek and into the Roman Empire, you'll start to see there was started to be a falling off, so to speak, of Jake really, you know, getting into the customs of the heathen and losing themselves and adopting the custom of the heathen. Now, when you go into dealing with Antiochus, just dealing with the Greek Empire, hey, he was slaughtering us for keeping the ways of the Lord, keeping the commandments. You know, making us bow to his that way of life, so to speak. You know, certain Jake fought against it, and then certain Jake, you know, bowed down. You know, they got with the program, so to speak. You know, and eventually over time, they they lost their way, so to speak. You know, I mean, and you had that even dealing with the time of Ezra. You know, while Ezra was pissed and pulling out his hair because of Jake dealing with the other nations. But nevertheless, through these different captivities, we knew we were the Israelites. All right? And it wasn't until we got over here in Babylon the Great where that's being pushed, or that's the narrative that we aren't the people of the Lord. Okay? That's what we are told. You know? When you, let's say like you going for a job, or, you know, your first day of school, You know, that they ask you the little bubbles. You know, and they got different nations down there. They got, not, I ain't gonna say just different nations, they got colors and shit. Cause, you know, they'll have it in the form of, depending on, you know, what year it was or what the time frame was, it would be like white, black, Asian, I forget what they would have, but you know what I'm going back to, or African American or Caucasian. Like, they had these different terms. I remember growing up, right? Different ones. It changed over time, but they still had it. They didn't have Hebrew Israelite, right? Or Israelite. They didn't have Edomite, and they didn't have Ammonite and Moabite. They ain't had them terms. See, they don't go by the biblical terms. You see? They go by this what they made up, you know, what they push. Because really it's the hide their identity, but also hide ours too. Because Edom don't want the world to know that he is the biblical Edomite, right? He's the one mentioned in the Bible where the end of the world is through him, you know? And the madness and the deception and wickedness that he done through the earth can be traced back to him, which is evident. You can see it. But he don't want the people to know of who the Israelites are, who the true chosen people is, because look at all the lies and the deception he made centering around him, right? Centering around his people. Like they were just the greatest and some great people. No. You're the biblical Edomite, and we're the Israelites, but we're the chosen, right? Let me see, hold on. Let me get this precept. I'm on Salakia, because I'm on you know, I usually walk, you know, get my morning walk to the plantations where I get a lot of these walker talks from. But man, when I tell you this, the way this bread is shaking, I ain't feeling this shit. But yeah, let's go back here. Book of Psalms 83. What was I speaking on? What was I? I can't think. Yeah, so you know his whole thing was to hide the fact of who we were. You know, hide to the world of who we were and deceive the world. And he had deceived the world of as if they're the chosen. Why do you think people right now, when when you hear about the JEWS, right? When people hear about the people that's really belong in the land of Israel, Jerusalem, right? You think they're associated with those other people, right? Those other people that wear those little small hats on their head, you know? The Edomite, the Amalekites, you know? The chief ones of Edom. Why do you think they're associated with them? They don't associate it with Jake. They don't associate it with people of color, but it's in fact indeed that the Hebrew Israelites are people of color, right? Different shade, different brown shaded complected people, like I said. But you got your ones that's a little lighter or fairer than others, right? Even ones that look like other nations. But you get the point. They associate those people in that land to be straight pale faces, right? And this is not true. Right? It's not true. But see, this is just another lie that they have put out in the world. And he's getting mad at the fact that this truth is coming out. Right? Which is exposing these lies. Even when Vladimir Putin, right, went on forget what show channel that was on. Vladimir Putin went live showing what those Russian icons. And I found out about the Russian icons, right? About 8 years ago, through the apostles and elders. He just bringing that out now in 2024, and apostles and elders been bringing that out for probably 20 plus years. The Russian icons. What is the Russian icon? Well, look it up, but I'll briefly say it. It shows you the images of when Jake was ruling, right? The Dark Ages, when we was ruling Europe, right? See, but that's in the Bible too, you know. But that was just to show you of when it's our Lord, right? You know, his mother, the disciples. It's an image showing you that. Wait a minute, these are people of color. You know, they were just covered up through the Renaissance era. That's what happened. You know, the Renaissance period, the whitewashing of the true people that had rule at this time. You know, iconoclasm is another word. You see? Because they was trying to hide the fact that this great people, because even though they went, a lot of them went under the banner of the Moors, they were, by nationality, they were Israelites. They just converted to Islam, a lot of them. Okay? But all those different kings and princes and princesses and, you know, people, so they were all people of color at these times. Dark Ages. You know? It really ain't started getting super bad till it was like I'm gonna say like late 1400s. But even so then, you still had Jake ruling different parts of around the world in the 15th and 16th century too. You see? In different parts. Wasn't as super heavy, I'm not mistaken, but yeah, you still see images dating back to 15th, 16th century of Jake decked out, kinged out, you know? Having different rule, but that's another lesson for another time. But yeah, so all this information is coming out, exposing the lies of this devil. But let's get this. Psalm 83 verse 2, it says, "For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." Jake, you the hidden one, right? You so-called Negro, Latino, Native American man, woman, and child. You are the hidden one. You are the one who haven't been told the truth about who you are, what land you come from, what power, you know, what true God you have that you can call upon. Right, your heritage. Do not the scripture say you shall discontinue from thy heritage? Right. So not only did you lose your land, but you lost everything that was associated with it. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." That was the plan that they came up collectively together with the other nations. Let's destroy these people. Let's blot out that name from the earth. You know? For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And then it goes down the list of all the different nations that was all had their hand and that was against us, or that is still against us. You know, when you're dealing with the parable with the rich man and Lazarus, rich man representing Esau, Edom, Lazarus representing the Israelites, and the dogs that licked their sores, which is the curses, are the other nations. So they are still in cahoots. You know, go into the Book of Lamentations. It talks about how the nations walk by, clap, laugh at thee. You know, no one is basically considerate of thee to help thee. You see? But see, this was all done by design. He set this up by design, but guess what? His system that he had put together, it's over with. We coming into that time, all these different things, all his lies are being exposed. Right? Scriptures even talk about, I shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves. We seeing that too. We're seeing all that, man. You know? And as much as y'all want to keep trying to say, oh, there's no way they can be a dark complected people, these ain't the people. Look, you very well soon about to see that we are those people. Okay? And we're just going to keep bringing it out and exposing you until you take us off the internet, because that's what eventually you're going to do. You're going to take us off the internet. Okay? And a lot of people are starting to not believe your bullshit anyway. point being, though, we get back on top. The point is throughout the lesson is we are those people. We are the people of the Lord. Right? We are the children of Israel. You see? And whether you people believe it or not, you're going to see it. That's all that matters. You're going to see it. You know? And prophecy don't lie. So, that was just something quick to the spirit. Lord willing, was edifying. So next time I want to say shalom.